Once upon a time, there was a farmer who lived in a small village. He had an old donkey that had been his loyal companion for many years. Whether it was working in the fields, carrying crops, or bringing supplies from the market, the donkey had always supported the farmer. Life was moving at its normal pace, and the farmer truly valued his old companion. But with time, the donkey had become weak and old. One afternoon, the farmer's donkey was eating grass near the field when suddenly his foot slipped and he fell into an old, dry, and very deep pit. The pit was so deep that the donkey could not get out on his own. He started crying and shouting loudly in pain and fear. His painful cries echoed throughout the entire field. The farmer ran there and saw his old companion trapped helplessly in the deep pit. He felt very sad. He thought for hours and looked around, trying to find a way to rescue his loyal donkey. But despite many efforts and deep thinking, he could not find any hope. The donkey had become very old, and the farmer also needed to fill this dangerous pit with soil so that no other animal or person would fall into it in the future. Finally, the farmer made a difficult and painful decision while holding back his emotions. He thought that trying to rescue the donkey was useless and impossible, so instead of leaving him to suffer, it would be better to cover him with soil and end his pain quickly. The farmer called some villagers for help. Everyone picked up their shovels and started throwing soil into the pit. When the first load of soil fell on the donkey's back, the donkey understood what was happening to him. He started crying out loudly in fear of death. His cries filled everyone's hearts with sadness, but they continued throwing soil. It seemed that within a short time, the loyal animal would be buried forever under the pile of soil. Dust was rising inside the pit, and the fear of death had completely taken over the old donkey, while the people standing outside were quickly finishing their work. The farmer and the villagers kept throwing soil into the pit. With every shovel, heavy soil fell on the donkey's back. Dust flew into the air, and it seemed like he would be buried deeper and deeper. At first, the donkey's painful cries and screams were breaking everyone's hearts. But then, suddenly, the sounds coming from the pit completely stopped. It seemed as if the donkey had given up, accepted death, or had been completely buried under the heavy pile of soil. A strange silence spread around the pit. The farmer looked inside with surprise and sadness. But when he saw what was happening inside, his eyes opened wide. What he was seeing was nothing less than a miracle. The animal that was waiting for death was now standing with new hope and determination. The donkey was doing something strange, but truly amazing that no one had expected. Whenever the farmer or the villagers threw a shovelful of soil onto the donkey's back, instead of crying, the donkey gave a strong shake. He shook his body with all his strength, dropped the soil from his back, and then stepped onto the pile of fallen soil. Shake off the soil and step higher. This became the old donkey's new and only way to save his life. As the soil kept falling into the pit, the donkey did not allow it to cover him. He used every problem coming his way as a chance to help himself. The soil fell on his back. He shook it off under his feet and moved one step higher. The villagers kept throwing soil in amazement, and with every new shovel, the donkey came a little closer to the top. The same soil that was being thrown to bury him alive was actually becoming the path that would help him escape. The donkey did not give up. Instead, he turned his suffering into his strength. The deep pit of death was now becoming a staircase under his feet, and the spark of survival had returned to his eyes. The villagers were still shocked and unable to believe what they were seeing. The soil they had thrown to bury the donkey forever was now saving the old animal's life. With every passing moment, the level of soil inside the pit was rising, and along with it, the donkey was also coming higher. The farmer no longer had tears in his eyes. Instead, he felt a strange happiness and pride because of the courage shown by his old companion. After a short while, the pit was almost filled with soil. The donkey shook off the last shovel of soil that fell on his back and pushed it under his feet. He took one final step and reached the edge of the pit. Everyone shouted with happiness and surprise. The donkey was completely out of the pit. He took a deep breath, shook his body one last time, and walked freely toward the field. That loyal animal had defeated death with his courage. This story teaches us that life will always throw difficulties, failures, and problems at us. But success is not in getting buried under these problems. It is in shaking them off and using them as steps to move forward. Turn every difficulty into your strength. Never lose courage and keep moving ahead.